We are currently living in the most expensive, exhausting era of lifestyle trends. Social media has successfully convinced us that to be happy, we need to buy 40 different insulated water bottles, an entire walls of handbags, and wake up at 5 a.m. to drink green tea juice. But in reality, we are just broke, tired, and suffocating under mountains of stuff we don't need. Today, we are going to look into some of the biggest overconsumption trends that social media has normalized. Things that has become normal online that people barely question them anymore. We will talk how this trend becomes so popular and why they are making so many people spend money they don't actually need to spend.
These are all of the purses I've decided to keep. Everyone's been yelling at me and saying this is too much, so let's go through this again.
For people to be yelling at you about the ridiculous amounts of bags that you own, that means you have an unrealistic collection. For me, the interesting part of this video isn't even in the numbers of the bag, is how owning a huge collection has become something people feel like they need to justify online to their audience.
It's been 3 days since I manically decided that I was going to declutter and downsize everything that I own. I started with decluttering my purses. That's the sell pile, which is, in my opinion, fantastic. And then that big pile is everything I've sold and need to ship out. And then those lounge flies, I have no idea what to do with. So after 2 days of making this life change, my brain needed a mental health break. So I drove out to the ocean.
Emotional clutter. I keep saying this.
At the boardwalk and the beach. And I didn't even touch my phone. But I will be honest, we did stop at a Marshall's in Santa Cruz because I couldn't go to a new city and not drop by my favorite store, you know? Tomorrow, I plan on making big moves.
The toilets.
And I have Jesus. And I'm so happy to have you guys on this
crazy. When I say something about emotional clutter, people question me in the comments. When we talk about clutter, it's not just about the physical clutter, the space that it occupies in our home. It's also the emotional clutter. If you spend your day trying to declutter a ridiculous amount of product, trust me, it feels like you've done so much. At the end of the day, you'll be so tired, like you will be so terrified. This is what emotional clutter can do to us when we have this ridiculous amount of collection. This is not normal. No one should have this amount of bags. You see a lot of creators buying all the designer bags, different colors. Watching her video, you could tell that she loves pink because it's just so many pink bags there. You see how they buy everything over and over. I saw a video where she said she owns 300 makeup bags. I mean makeup bags. You know, when you travel, you just need to get a few things put in a makeup bag. 300 makeup bags.
Do you guys remember when I used to have over 1,000 handbags? I had so many.
Not the makeup bags.
I didn't know which ones I had and like which ones I didn't. Sometimes I would buy double of them, but these are all of the handbags that I have left in my collection. I have one right there, two right there. Everything else is on the ground, including totes and backpacks and like overnight weekend bags. This being everything that I have left, I want to do a huge declutter, like the final. And then every time after this, if I buy a bag or I get a bag, I'm going to share it with you guys so you know exactly what's coming in, because I used to be a crazy, reckless shopper and things would just come in and go out so fast. And I'm so over that like low-key toxic behavior. So let's declutter and fit everything onto here. A lot of these bags, I had like a very specific phase. Like I had a bucket bag phase. Okay. I had a tote bag phase. You guys, I used to have like 15 of these bags in all different colors. I'm currently still in my Louis Vuitton Never Full phase. I've had a juicy phase. Here is like a little bucket school bag phase. I don't even know what that's called. My Coach City tote phase. You guys remember like 50 lounge flies? Who let me buy a lounge fly 50 times? That's just what happens when you give somebody money and they didn't grow up with money. I mean, at least that's what I hear happens to a lot of other people and happened to me. Well, I don't want to have collections anymore. I don't want to have things just to be like there and for me to look at, because I've been very convicted lately also by God's word in the Bible. I'm going to leave the
Bible quote. The Bible quote says, Matthew 6:19-21, do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, but store for yourself treasures in heaven. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be always. Interesting.
Here, and after reading this and digesting it and like ignoring it and pretending like I don't see it for so long, I've realized that I just want to cut my collection down to what I genuinely use, because I don't want these bags here as like an idol, because that's what they were to me before. I worshipped them, not literally, but like I would go shopping for a bag every single day. I would be obsessed with getting all of the perfect bags in my collection, and like what a life. That was what I was spending my time on. Is that bad? Not necessarily, but the way that I feel like it was affecting me mentally, like I was literally just thinking bag, where's the next bag? And that's almost like a dopamine addiction, and that dopamine addiction costs me money and just like my own mental health. So I'm done with that. We're gonna keep the necessities, like I keep saying, and I don't know where my content is gonna go from here, because I had a lot of content circled around purses and shopping, but you know what? God is so good.
There's nothing wrong with owning handbags. I mean, Buy the bags you like, have a few different styles, different colors, one for work, for special occasion, travel. That's completely normal. But once your collection grows so large that you lose track of what you own, that's no longer about practicality. Even she admitted it becomes an obsession. She was constantly thinking about the next bag, changing the excitement ahead of enjoying what she already had. Because the truth is, handbag collection has gotten completely out of hand. You only carry one bag at a time, yet trends convince people they need a tote, a cross, a shoulder bag, a clutch, a mini bag. Not just that, but having many of each. We have started treating dozens of bags that serve the same purpose as if they are a necessity, while in reality they are just carrying the same things, the same few essentials. A lot of influencers can afford this massive collection, and many of them can also receive bags from brands in exchange for creating content. That's their reality, and it doesn't mean it should become yours. So if you are watching any of these videos and starting to believe this is what a normal lifestyle looks like, I just want to let you know that it isn't. Spending your own money trying to keep up with collection like this doesn't make financial sense for so many people. And it's not normal. Having a few handbag you actually use is one thing, and closet full of shelves of handbags in different shapes, size, multiple versions of the same color isn't normal. It's become so common online that we've stopped noticing how excessive this really is.
How many Stanleys do you have? I've lost track, so let's count them. People always ask, how many Stanleys do you have? I know I'm not over 100, but I know I'm close. They used to be in rainbow order, and then it just got out of hand. We're gonna start here because they're easier to count. They're 3 deep, so we can say 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36, 39, 42, 45. We're not gonna count these two, they're not official Stanleys. 48, 51, 54, 57, that's 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65. That's over there. Now for this side. For right now, we're not going to count the 20 ounce. We have 68, 71, 74, 75, 76, 77. Got 78 back there. 81, 84, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92. This is the green Starbucks Stanley. I just haven't taken it out. This one's up there. I've got 92 40-ounce Stanleys. There are only 8 more to go. Let me know in the comments if you noticed any that I'm missing. I'll make another video that has like all the different colors that I have so we can see more closely. And I think there's a few that I'll probably be getting rid of so I can make room for more. Be sure to hit that like and follow so you don't miss what's coming next. We've got a lot of unboxings to do because we're on the
A lot of unboxing. One trend that got really out of control was the Stanley Cup Obsession. A reusable water bottle stopped being something you use and it becomes something we've collected. No one needs shelves full of dozens of Stanley Cups just to drink water. Having one or two or even few that fit different situations is understandable, but chasing every new color and limited edition until working towards 100 cups, that's not normal. And before people say influencers get this for free, a lot of these collections weren't built with PR. Many were built from people's own money because social media made it feel like collecting them was the goal. We all remember when this Stanley Cup craziness was everywhere. People were lining up, buying duplicates, and treating every new release like it was an urgency. Even till date, a lot of these creators still out there buying cups, different cups from Stanley from other brands. Okay, I made video a few weeks ago about it. It's still a thing. You don't need every release. There's a trending Starbucks cup. Last year, people were sleeping outside just to get their hands. This year, they released another one. People are still doing it. This is not normal. You don't need this amount of cups just for water. At the end of the day, they all do the same. They hold water. So owning dozens of them doesn't make your life better. It's just another example of how overconsumption gets disguised as a hobby.
These are all of my tumblers. I don't need this many.
The fact that she looks at her collection and said, I don't need all this. When you have so many tumblers that you feel the need to declutter them, is a sign the collection has grown beyond the original purpose.
I'm not sure I really have an answer to that question as to why I have so many Stanley Cups. Let's take it back. There I was. After the summer of 2022, I had seen that there was a mom who liked her Stanley Cup. And I asked my wife to go to Dick's because that's where they were like dropping the next release, which happened to be the 1.0. It's like a lime with a pink up there. And then there's like the darker pink with a darker pink. I hated those colors, to be honest. But somehow she got them before they were even released, which is why I still have them to this day. But as for the other 865 Stanleys I have, no, I really don't have that many. But for the rest, I don't have an answer. It kind of just started and
165 and you don't
continued
have
going. I do
many.
use all the open ones though.
No
So
way.
it's not like all of them just sit there. Only the ones with the tags sit there.
This right here is a perfect example of how overconsumption spreads. She admitted she saw someone else Stanley collection, wanted one for herself, and before you knew it, the collection kept growing without any real reason. That's how these trends work. We see someone online with a huge collection and suddenly it starts to feel like that's the standard. Then brands keep releasing new colors, limited edition and exclusive drops because they know people will keep buying to keep the collection going. The reality is that's exactly what they are counting on. They want you to believe collecting is normal because it keeps products selling, but it isn't. You don't need dozens of tumblers to drink water. Save your money, buy what you will actually use, and don't let anyone else's collection convince you that you need one just like this. The funny thing is, reusable cups are meant to reduce waste, but somehow it has become a collectible. Instead of replacing the disposable cups or disposable bottles, people started buying tumblers after tumblers in different colors, in different patterns and limited edition just to match their outfit or follow the latest trend. When you own dozens of reusable cups that all serve the same purpose, you have moved away from sustainability into overconsumption. So at this point, it's no longer about staying hydrated or even reducing waste. It's about collecting more for sake of having more. Thank you so much for the love you've shown me. Please subscribe. I am begging. I realize so many people watch me and they are not subscribed. Please subscribe. Shoe collection has become another form of overconsumption.
Clearly, I have a major problem. You could say that overconsumption is definitely an issue for me when it comes to shoes.
And also margaritas, but whatever.
I love getting my house good and clean before the new year, so that is what I've done all day, starting with this
Those
shoe
Nike
pile.
Dunks
right there, I kept for years. I think my problem is whenever I really like something, I need all of the colors. And I truly believe that's how I got to this because I started with one pair of Adidas Gazelle Bold, and now I have 4. And I also noticed the 5 pair of Birkenstocks. Or the 4 pair of Hokas. It's just too much. When I'm getting this wrapped up, there were some more up top, so I had to toss them down. Tell me why I have a brand new pair of these cute little Vans and I've never worn them before. Needless to say, a goal for 2026 is to stop over consuming. I think it would be so much easier to get dressed if I only had half of this. Anyways, I've got to get ready now, so have a happy new year.
It's one thing to own shoe for different occasion, but it's another to have shelves full of pairs that you rarely wear. Some people have limited edition sneakers only to keep them in the box, while others collect heels they will never wear because they are too uncomfortable. Shoes are meant to be worn, not displayed like trophies. When you spend more time sitting on a shelf than on the feet, it's worth asking whether you are buying them to use them or you are simply buying them to own them. I remember one time I had some money, let me say 2 years ago, I got a lot of shoes. Do you know the worst part? I did not wear this shoe for almost 1 year. One of these days, I decided to wear one of them. I realized that the shoe is getting spoiled already. It was already peeling. I sent a message to the vendor that I got it. So I told her, like, this is what I'm noticing. I've not even used this shoe. And she said, oh, I don't know what's happening. I was so angry. I was so annoyed. Like, I wasted my money on something I did not use and it's spoiled. That experience really made me to start buying something I will use. Majority of the times, we buy something because we believe we might use it, but most times we probably wouldn't. Here is the girl that spent all her money on sneakers. This is someone's collection, not a store. There's nothing wrong with loving sneakers. If someone have the money and genuinely enjoy collecting them, that's their choice. The problem starts when people watching this video begin to think this is what they are supposed to aspire to. Most people aren't even in the same financial position. If you are living paycheck to paycheck, trying to recreate a collection like this can put you in under unnecessary financial pressure. Social media has a way of making extreme collection look normal, but they aren't. You don't need a wall filled with sneakers to enjoy sneakers. A few pair that you actually wear is worth more than enough. Don't let the internet convince you that every collection is something you need to copy. Not every trend deserves your money, and not everything you see online needs to become your goal. Sometimes the smartest things you can do is to appreciate them on the screen and keep your money in your pocket. Most insane closet ever. I'm not saying this. Another Another one. Wow. I can really appreciate that this is a beautiful closet. Don't look at something like this and you think this is the standard you need to live up to. It isn't. Some people can afford collection like this because they have the income to buy them and even maintain them. And that's another part people don't think about. It's not just the cost of buying hundreds of shoes, it's the time, the space, and upkeep that comes with them. Some people even hire professionals to organize and maintain their closets. So if you're watching this from the outside, don't be pressured to recreate this. A few pair of sneakers that you could actually wear is perfectly fine, is enough. Don't let social media convince you that you need to spend money you don't have, chasing a lifestyle that's were never meant for somebody like you. Okay, this is really a beautiful acrylic containers for your jewelries. Okay, it's pretty. Your sunglasses. Okay, this is another box filled with so many glasses. It has a lot of compartments, as we can see. Okay, there are more. Okay. Cheap accessories has become another cycle of overconsumption. People buy piles of trending sunglasses, rings, necklace, and earrings because they are inexpensive and constantly changing with the latest trend. The problem is that many of these pieces are meant to be temporary. You know, they fade, they break, they tarnish, or they fall out of fashion so quickly that they are replaced almost as soon as they are bought. Many of them can't even be recycled easily. They end up waste after only a short period. So buying a few accessories you will actually wear for years makes so much sense than constantly replacing piles of cheap pieces you bought just for a few weeks or few days. Okay, so this looks so good. Now, I don't know this creator, I don't know the quality of what she's saying, but I'm just trying to make a point. Cheap jewelries and trending accessories are another area where people end up spending far more than they realize. I used to buy these affordable jewelry sets, so the ones with a dozen ring or necklace for a very low price. They look good at first, but after a few wears, the ring starts turning green, the necklace leave rashes or even redness on your skin, and the metal begin to tarnish, especially if it gets wet. What feels like saving money end up costing more because you keep replacing them. Instead of buying 10 cheap necklaces that won't last, you're actually better off buying one good quality piece that you can wear for years. It doesn't have to be luxury, you just have to be well made. I'm going to use this that I'm wearing, for example. I got this wristwatch, not from any luxury brand. I bought these bangles, these earrings that I'm wearing. I've had this for over 1 year plus. There is no sign of fading. These are not really expensive and they are not cheap either. I would just say they are in the middle, but they are good. Like, I've been wearing it. I use it to bathe, to even wash, and nothing happens. So majority of the time we see some of these cheap jewelries and we are very fast to order. You wear it today, tomorrow it's gone. So most times you think you're saving money, but if you think about how many times you keep ordering this, you realize that you are wasting money. And same goes to sunglasses. Social media makes it look like you need a different pair for every outfit. And influencers have drawers filled with them displayed in beautiful organizers. It looks aesthetically pleasing, but this doesn't mean it's normal or even necessary. Personally, I have over, I think, 5 pair of sunglasses. One is medicated, so the four is just fancy. And I've had them for like years and they are just fine. So there's nothing wrong with owning a few piece sunglasses or even small jewelry collection. The problem is when we start believing we need like boxes full of accessories just because that is what we are seeing online. Most of these cheap accessories are made from low quality materials, so they don't last. They end up in the trash, creating unnecessary waste while you are left buying the same things over and over again. Save your money, buy within your means, and remember that social media will often show an extreme, not the standard you need to live by. Thank you so much for the love you've shown me. Please subscribe. I am begging. I realize so many people watch me and they are not subscribed. Please subscribe. Okay. Brush your teeth. Make your bed. Put the lid mask. Do your skincare. Okay. Dress up, make some breakfast or green tea first, take some medicine, at home workouts, breakfast, some Greek yogurts, strawberries. Last thing I think influencers have normalized is these perfect morning routines. Is another trend that has gotten completely out of touch. Social media would have you believe that everyone wakes up at 5 a.m., journal, meditating, doing palettes, drinking green juice, completing a 10-step skincare routine, and answering emails before most people even go out of bed. For an average person, mornings are less glamorous. Many people are trying to get enough sleep, get ready for work or for school, and make it through a day without feeling exhausted. There's nothing wrong with having some of these healthy habits, but the problem starts when this routine becomes another performance. Suddenly, a normal morning doesn't feel good enough because it is filmed, aesthetic, and packed with dozen productivity tasks. Okay, wake up by 3:53 a.m., brush, drink some water, do some exercise, read, pray,
So we're gonna be
journal,
serious about the Lord's business.
listen to some sermon, do some therapy, all this, prepare for a gym. After gym, go to the swimming pool, take some shower at home, eat some banana, do some therapy,
So
another
looking at it, bro, you gotta go ahead
therapy,
and get in at least 10,000.
walk. Crazy. All this before 9:30. Whenever people talk about these perfect morning routines, they often say it's women selling unrealistic lifestyle to other women. But the truth is, men do this too. Take this creator, for example. He wakes up before 4 a.m., exercise, pray, read, journal, watch educational content or sermon, I think, drink water, go to the gym, go to the pool, come back home, shower, do skincare, eat, start work, all this before 9:30 a.m. If that routine genuinely works for him, that's fine. The problem is when people watching these videos start believing this is the standard for being disciplined and even being successful. Many people have jobs, families, long commutes, or simply need more rest. They are not failing because they don't have 3 or 4 hours every morning to optimize every minute of their day. There's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with wanting a productive morning. But don't let social media convince you that your life is somehow less valuable because this doesn't look like this perfectly addicted morning routine. Waking up, getting ready, and handling your responsibility is productive too. Not every influencer lifestyle is meant to become your reality. And even with this video that I showed, when you look at the timestamp that was added, you will see there were just a lot of mistakes. So this looks like a video that was just filmed and random timestamp was just slapped. Because take a look at when he came out of the gym, when he was trying to slide into the pool, it seems it took him some minutes to slide into the pool, which take barely seconds. This aesthetic morning routine has become another product that social media is selling. And it's no longer about waking up in the morning or building these healthy habits. It has become a shopping list. I mean, matching workout sets, expensive water bottles, luxury pajamas, designer planners, high-end blender, supplements, and every wellness product you can even imagine. It's almost look like they are telling us you have to buy this to be productive and to be disciplined. But that's the fantasy that is being sold. You don't need a perfectly curated morning or hundreds of dollars worth of product just to have a good way of starting your day. At the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with buying things you genuinely enjoy or collecting things that makes you happy. The problem starts when social media convinces us that every hobby needs to become a collection and that our lives are somehow incomplete without this latest trend. Remember, influencers are showing you a highlighted reel, not the standard you have to live by. What looks normal on the screen is often far from normal in real life. Don't compare your finance, your home, or your lifestyle to content that is designed to keep you watching and often to also keep you buying. And if you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments, what overconsumption trend do you think has gotten out of control? And if you have another trend you would like me to cover, I would love to hear it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe. I realize so many people watch me and they are not subscribed. Please subscribe, turn on your post notifications so that you get notified anytime I upload video. Share this video to your friends, groups. I am Blessing and I will see you in the next video.